Tracy locates Monica's original will. Tracy locates Monica's will just as Ronnie's about to sign the mansion over to Drew. Friday, October 31, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Nina throws Portia under the bus, Dalton gets demoted, and Jack has a proposition for Lulu. Credit, ABC screenshot. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. This week's burning questions, from Taylor's bizarre bold and beautiful behavior to young and restless missing in action heiress. Plus, the days of our lives heartbreak we're already bracing for. Nina and Drew meet at the Metro Court to discuss Willow. Drew sees Michael walk in and reveals that he's going to save Willow by telling the police that Michael shot him. Nina says nobody will buy this newly restored memory, and that this plan will backfire, leaving Willow to rot in prison. Nina says she's sick of his savior complex, but he warns her that if she wants back in Willow's life, she should start showing him some gratitude. What does Sonny advise Michael not to do? Michael meets with his dad, who warns his son that Alexis is Willow's new attorney and is going to try to point the finger at him for Drew's shooting. Sonny warns him that Alexis will use everything Willow's been through to her advantage. Michael becomes angry and rants at everyone being sympathetic towards his ex, and Sonny points out that if Alexis puts him on the stand, and that angry tone comes out of his mouth, people will believe he could have shot Drew. Drew walks over to Michael and Sonny and gloats that he's about to sign the papers with Ronnie, making the Quartermain estate all his. He leaves them, and Sonny is proud of his son for not letting Drew bait him. Michael says it's going to be much harder not to say anything at the official signing over of the estate. Later, after Michael and Drew have left, Nina flags down Sonny, as there may be a way they can protect them both, Michael and Willow. Nina says there is a third suspect who could have shot Drew, someone nobody even suspects. Joey, is that you? At Bobby's, Emma tells Gio that it's time to expose Dalton and his unethical practices. She's going to stop by his office this afternoon and thinks she needs to go alone, as she may need to flirt with him, and doesn't want Gio racing to save her if Dalton gets creepy. He tells her to text him and be safe. She kisses him on the cheek before she leaves. Ronnie walks in, sees Jack at the counter and says, "Joey?" He says his name is not Joey, and she apologizes, thinking he was someone she used to know. He suggests maybe they knew one another in another life and introduces himself. A nice little nod to one life to live there. Carly comes out and Jack introduces Ronnie to Carly. Carly says she's heard about her from her son, Michael, who she's kicking out of his house to sell it to Drew. Ronnie isn't going to get into this and just wants to move on from here in that house. But Carly warns her the Quartermains won't let her move on. Ronnie approaches the counter, and Gio asks if he just heard right and if she is really selling the estate. She says he is, and Gio begs her to rethink this as the QS are good people, even Tracy. He asks her to stop the sale as that home and Monica deserve better. Meanwhile, Jack and Carly sit down, and Carly hates that Michael is enduring another loss. She continues to fake leaning on Jack and stringing him along, making him believe how much he means to her. Tracy gets help from Lucy of all people. At Lulu's, she tells Tracy, "Good morning and happy Halloween." And that is about all the Halloween we get, at least for today. Lucy stops by, looks at all the boxes and suggests someone needs help with an estate sale. Lulu heads out and Lucy tries to sell Tracy on a new house. They end up rehashing Lucy's past with Alan, and Lucy says she too misses Alan, Lila, and Edward. Lucy tells Tracy she can't keep living in her grief and trying to face all this, motioning around to the boxes, on her own. Tracy knows Lucy loved her parents and Alan, and these boxes are all that's left of them. Lucy tells her in the end that a house is just a house, and her memories live in her heart. Lucy begins looking through a few of the boxes, and they reminisce about the past. Martin makes a confession, just not the one we want to hear. Martin stops by Laura's office to make a confession. He explains that he was lured back into work with Drew, who is collaborating with Sidwell to pass the Measure C initiative. Laura asks why he'd work for Drew again. Martin admits Drew's the worst, but nothing requires him to like his clients. Laura understands and just wants this Measure C nightmare to be over. Lulu stops by for some motherly advice just as Martin heads out. Lulu fills her mom in on Rocco's dinner date with Britt and company, and that Charlotte helped him keep it from her. Lulu hates that her kids are walking on eggshells around her and aren't comfortable being honest with her. Laura suggests Lulu extend invitations to Britt and Valentine to meet with her and the kids, so that they see she's okay with this, no secrets are being kept, and the kids won't feel the need to hide things from her. Lulu hates being the bigger person but thinks her mom is onto something. Later, Lulu stops by Bobby's and runs into Carly and Jack. Jack tells Lulu he has potential information to discuss with her that involves Charlotte. Can Michael get through to Ronnie? Michael stops by the mansion and runs into Ronnie. He explains he just came to say goodbye to the house. He makes one last effort to change Ronnie's mind about the sale, and suspects something more is going on. Ronnie cries that something else is going on, but she's in too far over her head not to sell to Drew. Martin and Drew arrive at the mansion before Ronnie can tell Michael anything else. Drew says it must kill Michael that he's building his life in the same house that he shared with Willow and their kids. Ronnie yells at Drew that he's getting what he wants, so don't rub it in Michael's face. Michael asks Ronnie if she really wants to do this. You're fired. Well, sort of. Sidwell walks into Dalton's office with Britt and informs him that he's being replaced. Due to his failure to make progress, Dalton will be working under Britt, who is highly motivated to complete this task. He also expects them to bring this project to a swift and successful end. Sidwell leaves Britt and Dalton to talk. Dalton immediately suggests they work together and not include Sidwell in their plans. In the show's final moments. At Bobby's, Jack tells Lulu that Valentine wants another visit with Charlotte. Lulu refuses to fly her daughter across the world and be a part of his spy games, but Jack asks if she'd feel differently if Valentine were local. In his office, Dalton tells Britt that this project could be worth a lot of money to the right people, and it's not fair that Sidwell pockets the money for their hard work. He suggests they take it to a third party. That's when Emma walks in and says, "Britch? What are you doing in Professor Dalton's office?" Sidwell stops by to see Laura in her office and pitches the idea to work together to save Port Charles. At the Metro Court, Nina tells Sonny that Drew was blackmailing Portia. She doesn't know what with, but Portia was desperate to get out from under Drew, which is why she helped her frame Drew with the ketamine and